On December 30th, 2024, we have the last new moon of the year, which will be in the sign of Capricorn. Let's first have a chat about the general forecast for this new moon, and then we'll get into each of the rising signs. This new moon, as I just shared, is in the sign of Capricorn, which should bring a more serious, driven type of energy. We might be feeling like we want to put our heads down and get to work. Start taking a certain area of our life seriously and actually putting in some effort and some ambition into that area. Overall, we might be feeling like we have a need to be respected. We have a need to achieve things. And once we get into the zodiac signs, the rising sign horoscopes in a minute, you'll get to find out in which area of your life that might manifest more specifically. The fact that the new moon is in the decan ruled by Saturn adds to this serious type of nature. This feeling that time is passing us by and we want to make sure that we are putting in the work to get us where we want to go. It's the sort of realization that if we want to achieve great things, we need to put in the work. During this new moon, we will also have Mars building up to its opposition of Pluto. It won't be exact during the new moon, but as I said, they will be getting closer and closer. So this energy definitely adds an interesting flavor to this new moon. And specifically, whenever we see Mars opposing Pluto, we're talking about this idea that achieving great power and great success sometimes requires courage and sometimes requires putting up a fight. And the fact that we have this energy during the new moon, we are doubling down on this feeling of wanting to achieve things, wanting to have great success in our life. But in order to do that, we need to put in the time and the hard work, and we also need to be courageous and maybe fight for it. This new moon will be out of bounds. And whenever we see a moon that is out of bounds, we are talking about doing things a little bit differently from society's norms. So during this new moon, pay attention to the feelings of achievement or the things of the success that you want to reach, and notice how your definition of success, your definition of achievement is different from what society might expect of you. And finally, I will add one more thing to this general forecast, and then we can jump into the rising signs. This is a new moon. This means that we're just beginning this fresh chapter of working towards success. It doesn't mean that we will achieve success on the new moon. It does mean that we are getting the ideas, the intuitive downloads, if you can say so. We are getting some inspiration as to what this success could look like. And keep in mind, this is very much a Saturn-influenced new moon. So the inspirations might not be of a rosy, peachy future where we're galloping in the grass and we have all the success and accolades that we could ever wish for. Instead, it is a sort of inspirational future, but we are not imagining ourselves galloping in the grass. We are almost imagining the hours that we put in, the dedication, the perseverance. We are imagining what hard work could look like and taking pride and joy in that type of future. So it's actually a really, really interesting new moon in the sign of Capricorn, and a great way to round off 2024 and start 2025. Now let's get into the rising signs one by one. We'll go through what house this new moon will take place for you, and what you can expect in a little bit more detail. And don't forget the timestamps are down below as well, so you can just skip to the part that interests you the most. We start off with Aries rising, and for Aries, the new moon in Capricorn takes place in their 10th house of career. So Aries, during this new moon, you might be getting fresh ideas of what success and achievement means for you when it comes to your career. Don't be afraid if that success looks a bit differently from what society might define success as. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to what sort of crazy ideas are coming about this time, and especially any inspiration you're getting on things you should work on, how you should take your career more seriously, what are certain things that you can do, certain work that you can put in order to get to where you want to go. Next up, we have Taurus risings, or also Taurus sun signs. For Taurus, the December 30th new moon takes place in the 9th house. For Tauruses, this will be any new revelations, new ideas that are coming about when it comes to education, travel, and maybe even belief systems. This could manifest in many ways, of course. You could be taking a look at how you can put in more work and take your studies seriously. Perhaps you are doubling down and getting some intuitive ideas on finally standing for something, picking a belief system, a lifestyle, maybe even a political party to align yourself with. It could be getting serious on your travels, determining how you want to put in the work there, determining what success means for you when it comes to those 3 areas of your life, and not being afraid if that definition looks different from society's definition. Let's talk about Gemini risings and Gemini sun signs. For Geminis, the new moon takes place in the 8th house of intimacy or vulnerability. And it's actually such an interesting place to have a Capricorn new moon, because it's almost this idea of treating your intimacy, treating vulnerability as a job. You are getting some new ideas, some intuitive feelings as to how you can actually put in the work there, how you can actually continue to put in the time and the effort to achieve success in that area of your life. And because this is a new moon, we are thinking much more on an abstract level, more on a symbolic level as well. So what could be coming up for you during this new moon is, in general, symbolically defining what is success, what is achievement look like for you when it comes to your vulnerability. Is it that you can open up to somebody sooner, not needing to know them for 5 years before you do so? Is it about deepening the intimacy that you have with your partner? What does that look like? How do you know that you have achieved success in that area of your life? Next up, we have Cancer risings and Cancer sun signs. And the new moon on the 30th of December takes place in your 7th house. This is, yes, the house of relationships. So Cancer, you are starting a new chapter of working hard in your relationship. And because this is a new moon, you're thinking much more symbolically, higher level as to what success could look like in that area of your life. You are maybe getting inspirations as to how you could put in the work, what working on your relationship really means or looks like. And in general, almost the sense of starting a new chapter where you actually treat your relationship like it is work, like it is your job. You take it seriously, you put in the time and the effort into it. And hopefully that doesn't, when I say it, it doesn't make you feel a bit bummed down, because we don't want to associate our relationship with work. But I do think there's this wonderful energy of Capricorn there, which acknowledges that good things come to those that work hard. And that is also true for your relationship, Cancer. For Leo risings and Leo sun signs, the Capricorn new moon takes place in your 6th house of health and routine. You are getting new inspirations, new ideas, new intuitive feelings as to what success means for you when it comes to your health and your routine. If society says a healthy routine means going to bed at 10 p.m., but you do not agree, you will see some of those intuitive feelings come about during this new moon, where you define your own success. You define your own achievement when it comes to routine and health. And because we are talking about the archetype of Capricorn, it means that you are also starting this new chapter of actually treating your health and routine as if it is your job, treating it seriously, being driven there, and putting in the time and the effort there, and not just letting it happen when it happens, when you have some free time on a random Saturday. Let's have a chat about Virgo risings and Virgo sun signs, because this new moon will take place in your 5th house of creativity and self-expression. And it's actually a really interesting place to be having this new moon in Capricorn there. You know, we talked in the general forecast that this is about taking this area of your life seriously, treating it as if it is your work, putting in the time and the effort. So for you Virgos, it's almost as if you are realizing that if you want to actually have fun, if you want to actually do things that bring you joy, enjoy life, and nurture your inner child, you need to make that a priority. You need to make sure you put the time and effort into it in order for it to happen. This is a new moon, so you might be getting new inspirations, new ideas, new intuitive feelings as to what success could look like for you in that area. How do you know you have actually achieved something? Is it when 50% of your time you're having fun? Is it when you can actually come home from work and feel happy and fulfilled? What does success mean for you in that area of your life? So this will definitely be up front and center for you during the new moon. For Libra risings and Libra sun signs, on December 30th, the new moon takes place in your 4th house. This is the house of family and your home. So you are definitely thinking about success when it comes to your family relationships and when it comes to your home. And honestly, this could manifest in many different ways. It could be that you are putting in the work in regards to home renovations. It could be that you are putting in the work on nurturing and relationships with your family. But in general, it's this idea of treating that area of your life seriously, actually being driven, putting in the time and the energy, the effort in achieving success in that area of your life. And because this is a new moon, you're also thinking much more symbolically and higher level as to what even does it mean to achieve a great familial relationship? What does it even mean? How does success look like when it comes to your home? Does it mean that you have a lot of land? Does it mean that you have a house that's worth millions? Does it mean that you have a home that can host and welcome a lot of people? That's a safe haven for others. There's definitely these feelings and ideas that you are thinking about during this new moon. For Scorpio risings and Scorpio sun signs, the 3rd house will be the one that's affected during the December 30th new moon. This means that you are getting some revelations, inspired ideas on how to communicate better. And you're also thinking about, how do you know that you're actually being a successful communicator? How do you know if you're actually becoming better at communicating, achieving greater capabilities there? This is a new moon, so you are just starting a chapter. You might be getting certain inklings, certain inspirations on how to actually put in the work, how to take this part of your life more seriously, how to put in the effort there. So really having ideas of what could I do here to achieve success? So firstly, what does success even mean to me? And then secondly, what can I do? What is the effort, the time that I can put in to actually get to that level of success? For Sagittarius sun signs and Sagittarius risings, we have on the 30th, the new moon in your second house. This means that you're starting a new chapter of financial success. More specifically, there are two areas or two things that will be on top of your mind. First of all, what does even financial success mean for you? And keep in mind, it's okay if this financial success is different than the definition that society has of financial success. And secondly, you are thinking of how can I get there? How can I achieve this financial success? You might be getting ideas, inspirations on how you can actually take this area of your life seriously, how you can dedicate the time and the effort to it. Maybe you get an idea of spending your travel time to work listening to financial podcasts, putting in the work, putting in the time to improve that area of your life.
Well, this is editing Amelia coming in. Turns out I forgot to film Capricorn risings. So sorry, apologies for that, especially because this is your new moon. So yeah, let's have a chat about Capricorn risings and Capricorn sun signs. The new moon on the 30th will be taking place in your first house. So for you, this is a new chapter that you're starting on achieving a sort of identity where people respect you and people take you seriously. And you are starting a new chapter where you actually work hard on forming this solid identity of yourself, where you actually put in the effort, the time, the energy into showing up, dressing, speaking in a way that demands that respect, that exudes this feeling of success and achievement. And because it's a new moon, you are probably having new ideas. You're maybe feeling inspired on what of how you know you've reach success in this area. So you're feeling inspired in terms of how could you look like? How could this identity of yours look like, and what shape could it take? And keep in mind that this identity that you define for yourself might look different from what others expect of you, might be different from what others think a successful person's identity is, because this is an out of bounds moon after all. So yeah, Capricorns, sorry for skipping you. And let's move on to the next zodiac sign.
Next up, we have Aquarius risings and Aquarius sun signs. And for Aquarius, the new moon in Capricorn takes place in the 12th house of spirituality. You are asking yourself on the 30th of December, Aquarius, how you can be spiritually successful. What does that mean for you? Is there any sort of achievement that you're striving for when it comes to spirituality? And you might find yourself getting some new ideas, maybe some inspiration on how you can treat this area of your life as if it is really serious and really important. How you can dedicate the time and the effort towards it. What can you actually do to achieve this success, get even better spiritually, so to speak, Aquarius? And finally, we have Pisces rising and Pisces sun signs. And for Pisces, the new moon in Capricorn takes place in the 11th house. You will be taking a look at putting in the hard work, the time and the effort on your friendships, on achieving your future goals. You will probably also be really abstracting and thinking about, how do I know that I have achieved success in that area of my life? How do I know that I actually have nurturing, successful, beautiful friendships where I'm respected and I'm being taken seriously? How can I put in the work needed to make my friendships even better? How can I put in the work and the effort, the time that's needed to achieve some of my long-term goals? These might all be questions you have during this new moon. And Pisces, don't be afraid if your answers are different than society's definition of success in those areas of your life. The moon is out of bounds on the 30th, so you definitely might feel like your definition of success is, it sort of feels like you're a bit different from the rest of society because of it. But don't let that deter you. Really use this inspirational energy to imagine what success and working hard towards your friendships and future goals could actually look and feel like. So that is it. That is your forecast for the new moon in Capricorn on December 30th. It is right before we jump into 2025. So I hope you are in a nice mood of closing off the new year, getting inspired for the following year. Don't forget that I'm also going to post a new moon meditation for this December 30th new moon. So if you want to make sure you catch that one, make sure you click that subscribe button so that you'll get notified when it gets posted. Thanks for joining me. Happy new moon, and I hope to see you again soon.